Call the meeting to order. I don't think we have to vote on it. But you want me to call roll? Absolutely. Tim Large, Daniel Ilian,
Here.
John Kilstrom,
Present.
Indy Prosky,
Present.
Andrew Rathbun. Seen him. Benjamin Hurt.
Here.
He's joining us via Zoom. And council liaison, Andrew Labonte.
All right, can I get somebody to approve unless they have an alteration last month's meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 27th meeting, 2025.
27, yep.
I'll second.
And I'll take a vote. Tim Large,
Yes.
Daniel Ilian,
Yes.
John Kilstrom,
Yes.
Mindy Prosky.
Yes.
Andrew's not here. Benjamin Hurt.
Yes. We're good.
It's passed.
As far as board business, I don't have any other than we've talked about needing volunteers for bike helmets and some of the upcoming events, but that's more Yvonne's stuff. So I'm sure she'll reach out to everybody, but just to make aware that we do have upcoming events, and sooner it's scheduled, the better.
Yvonne had put out a message, an email requesting anybody showing the dates and the times that they could sign up for those events.
Yeah, I'll just say I saw the email as well. I do intend to reply to that email. There's a couple that I can sign up for. So
Yeah, there's two I might not be able to go to, but I said yes to everything else.
Yep.
So. The other thing I have, which I have to talk to the chief about, is working on the e-bike regulation stuff, but I was going to talk to you here, but I see it's already also on the agenda anyway.
Yes.
So unless somebody else has something else they'd like to add. Anyone?
Just to piggyback on your events, if I may, we're also going to have volunteers from our cadet program. So our new cadets will be participating in all our events. So we'll have those availability also.
That's fantastic. John, you have anything else?
This roundtable discussion, is that, are we in business
Yes.
of the board? Roundtable? The only thing that I noted in going through the police department updates, all the different stuff, was that I didn't see any traffic stats in the packet that I received.
It's in the bottom.
It was there's traffic stats, but I didn't see the accident breakout like we used to see.
I'll make sure we include those next time, John.
I've got it here if you want to see it, John. I guess going back to this, John, you had some, or Chief, you had some updates you wanted to do?
Yeah. Yes. Are we done with the roundtable or is there more? Then I'll get into mine.
No. Nope. Go ahead.
All right, just a little bit, a couple things I want to talk about. One is police department updates on speed reduction on Oatfield. I know that's kind of it's been a subject over the last 2-3 years. I learned quite a bit when I spoke to Clackamas County Engineering, and the process of which it was, we're under the understanding that regardless of what we had to do, engineering needed to take place. There's a financial cost associated with that the city that was significantly large. I did a little bit more deeper dive into that. I've submitted today for the engineering assessment that according to my understanding is at no cost to us, it's to Clackamas County. And so made that submission today, received a receipt and email. So the idea is to reduce from 35 to 30 on Oatfield within the city limits of Gladstone. So that's on the way. They said it could take up to 4 to 6 months to a year before we get notification. I'm hoping it's a little bit faster, but it is what it is. So that process is moving. With that, I wanted to piggyback Webster Road onto that. I was speaking to the same engineer, super nice guy, counselor. He said he'd spoken to you. So we're speaking about the same person, speaking to the same person. About Webster Road, and we talked about that. I've always been under the impression that Webster Road, that when the county was looking at reducing the speed from Roots Road into the city, that the city of Gladstone will be tied into that. This person would absolutely worked on that, actually worked on the project itself. But what I did learn is they can only do county roads. They can only get authorization through county roads, which is, okay, so I'm going to go through the same process that I'm doing for Oatfield on the Webster. Whether this makes any sense to anybody, didn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. It's the process. And so I'm going to hopefully tie in our portion of Webster to Oatfield into their survey. And so I'll list that. So maybe that's a faster process because engineering has already done that and they've already been awarded the reduction in speed. So we'll see how that goes. But I seem to I've got the right person, I think, to help us along. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So that's kind of an update there. E-bike ordinance. I got a lot of information. There's a lot of different e-bike ordinances out there. I'm going to focus on the city of Seaside's e-bike ordinance that we'll share, then that we can talk about. And the reason for that is because Seaside's a tourist town, and most of our e-bikes come through the trail, Abernathy Trail, right? And so I just kind of locked that in. So we'll see what makes sense for Gladstone. I know there's been a couple close misses with some of these e-bikes and the speed, and I wish I can tell you that I knew what all the CC is in ORS. I don't yet. So more research has to be done, but we can connect and put something together and look at a couple different ones and see what best fits for Gladstone, what's going to fit Gladstone community. But what I also want to do is somehow get that out to the community so that there's buy-in. I just don't want to throw out an ordinance and all of a sudden start stopping people and citing people. So I want to make sure there's good awareness out there. Because I think education and awareness is probably the priority, as you can see with our stats that I'm about to show you. So we already talked about the monthly report. Any questions on the Public Works report that need to be shared? So let's get into some traffic stats for January 2024. The officers here made 326 traffic stops. You can see in the monthly report about how many of the high rolling, what were the top citations. I think I saw driving uninsured, speeding, failure to display plates of some sort, and cell phones. Those are a big deal. So, and we do have our grants still. We're still operating off our grants and utilizing that to subsidize for a traffic team. So officers will just come in on overtime, but that is state funded money, not general fund money. So, which is good. Of those 326, we issued 106 citations or charges along with that. So the percentage of, we continue with we want to educate, but sometimes you deserve a citation and we're going to give you one. So out of those 326, we issued 106 citations, 175 parking citations, and we arrested two drivers for driving under the influence of intoxicants. So that's our numbers right now. Any questions on that?
I had one question.
Sure.
Which now I can't find it, but I thought I saw that there were 9, I'm guessing, citations about camping. somewhere in Gladstone? I was just curious where that was.
Yeah, so under ordinance violation, there could be illegal camping. We did a lot of cleanup. We have especially of our waterways, kind of Dull Beach area underneath the bridge. So we utilize Metro to help us get those cleaned up through an IGA. So sometimes people are just illegally camping, through our ordinance. There's areas where people can camp by law, and there's areas where they can't. So in most cases, we find them resources.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, I was all prepared with my notes and everything.
That is my update on stops. Chair, I think would be important for us to set aside some time, maybe you can get a hold of Chrissy, schedule about an hour meeting with me that's convenient for you, so we can go over the ordinance and bring it back to, and work on the ordinance, get it brought back to this group before we move it forward.
Yeah, my
To the-
schedule's pretty fluid, so,
So just get hold of her and we'll fit you into my schedule.
okay.
So, but other than that, that's all I have to report on. We had nothing real significant going on.
Which is good.
Yeah, and we're still, running our traffic missions with speeding, DUI and distracted driving. So,
At one time, you had suggested to the board that we could put in requests to put the speed trailer different places. Is that still an option?
yes, that's still an option and it's out right now. Last I saw it was on Hereford. So I let Yvonne and Sergeant Graves actually, maneuver that around different areas. So right now it's going to run further south. So it'll keep going down with Gloucester. And then we just took it off Dartmouth. And so we'll be hitting a couple other streets, get it back on Arlington, get it up on Oakfield, get it back up on Webster. So we have it operational now. So we're just continuing to collect that data. And so I'm working with the sergeant right now to make sure that we capture that data. And we're going to actually start putting that data out on social media, because what we're finding is like the 80th percentile or at the speed limit or lower, we will get those anomalies. We'll get some people going a little bit faster, but for the most part, people are finding the speed limit. But it's easy for people to also recognize and feel like they're going too fast when they're really not.
Yeah. On a little short story, I saw one of my neighbor's cars. I tend to be the, if you see something, say something type. And I saw a Hyundai steering column was obliterated. So I called non-emergency. They came out. It's not reported stolen. Took off that night. Next night it came back. I was absolutely certain it was stolen. Yvonne happened to be out and I told her about it. She goes, "Oh, I'll go look." And it turned out it was the brother of whoever's house he was keeping an eye on, and it had been stolen, but he hadn't fixed it yet.
You just never know.
And you have some stuff for us tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, I like to bring some signs, if anybody wants to grab a sign for their yard, I had a staff on the bike. They're from the ODOT, I could display on where you come and grab, but my favorite one of the bunch. Yeah, they're from Blackman County, but. I like these here, nice. So I feel like sometimes these signs, kind of the point gets lost in the image. But I tend to like just the big letters, but yeah, feel free to grab a sign if you like.
Yeah, we had a few weeks ago, we're at one of the no stop sign intersections.
Yep.
And two cars slammed into each other right in front of us. And then like 2 or 3 days later, we almost got hit by somebody who was blazing through the intersection. We always assume somebody's gonna do that. But if we hadn't, this young teenager would have plowed right into the side of us, so.
Yeah.
We're at Yale and Clarendon. Yale and Berkeley, I guess, really. There's still pieces of wreckage out in the street, so.
One thing I also want to share is, and get it on the record, is we're putting poster boards up on like stop signs. What are stop signs? How do you get a stop sign? What are the best use for stop signs? probably not on every intersection because people are just going to speed up and blow through stop signs. So they're designed for a certain way, information on that, information on right of way, who's got the right of way, et cetera. So those signs will always be posted. We'll have different signs up in front of our vestibule, in front of the office, and those signs also get posted on our social media for awareness.
I was also thinking of, this week getting in touch with Public Works to see if we can get some sort of banners about four-way stops that we could have at some of our events. Just a simple explanation of,
We can put something together for that.
okay,
The boards that you've put together, for the 4th of July and the festival, those would be great because that brings in big crowds of.
Yeah, and we'll take those out. We'll display them all over the place.
So I have one in front of the police lobby if you want to look at it when you leave.
okay,
So, yeah. It's on the right of way for four-way stops
okay.
or
Yeah, it's like
uncontrolled intersections. So,
he said, we're gonna have, like at the 4th of July thing, so many people showing up. If you have it right where the hot dogs are served, people
Yep.
kind of have to look at it.
yeah,
Yep.
we'll have it there.
I'm sure that before over there, but, which I should, but I just want to mention the,
Andrew, do you want to speak into a
can.
microphone so they can record it?
Oh, here you go, John. I cooked with a lot of garlic earlier, so I'm feeling a little self-conscious. But anyways, so the gentleman, Rob Sadowski from Clackamas County Traffic Safety, he's like the coordinator there. He expressed an interest in basically coming to this group and kind of talking about really anything you want, but geared towards kind of Clackamas County and some of the programs and how they're, doing traffic safety events, and wanted to throw that out there for something for you guys to think about as, I don't know if it's an agenda item, but I can get his information to you guys, and you guys make a decision.
I received an email like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago about that.
Okay.
And said we would be super interested.
Okay.
I heard back and I don't remember who it was from.
Sure. All right.
It
Good.
was from me. And
Did-
Andrew,
did I
asked
miss
you for
that?
Contact information. So
Well,
I can
yep.
schedule that.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Anything else, sir?
I think that's it.
Nothing else? You guys have anything else? Did you have?
Community input.
In the Gladstone newsletter, that there's a vacant position on the board. Is that still vacant? And so I'm tired of seeing here, and thought maybe might be something interesting to do. I really don't know anything about the board or how you meet or anything like that.
I think if you reach out to Tammy Bannock, city recorder, there's an application. I think you can go online. And but if you want to know more about the board, feel free to talk to one of these board members and can share that information from you. I know we've been looking to fill our spots, so we're just waiting for that engineer.
I can give you my number too, if you wanna. Yeah. Sure.
So there is one other thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Do you? There is one other thing. Do you remember the gentleman that came in and talked about the neighborhood
Yes.
up off Oatfield? Just for the record, I've been waiting for the new Public Works Director to get here to help me, and he's finally here. So last week, we actually drove up there. So, and he's trying to identify those signs to put up there. So if you get contacted by the gentleman in that neighborhood, we're working on that and putting them in both directions that are reflective. And so I'll follow back up with the Public Works Director to see where we're at with that. But I just didn't want to make sure that it didn't fall off our list.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Nothing from you?
Oh, I've always got something banging around the back of the head. Has there ever been any follow-up or more information on the potential crosswalk at Cracksburger? That was through the state.
Not to my knowledge.
All right. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else, I can make a motion to adjourn.
Go ahead. You made a
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Meeting adjourned.
And, oh, do you need me to call?
You, yes,
Do I need to? Okay, Jim,
yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mindy,
Yes.
Benjamin,
Yes.
we're adjourned.